Your Ladyship, you must also address this one. This is at the point of delivering the decision of the Supreme Court on the presidential election petition in 2022. There are those that felt that the court came out with language that was not what is expected of the Supreme Court. Words like hot air, wild goose chase are still painful to many people.
Well, if somebody feels hurt because of the language that you have used, it's always an act of humility to apologize and say we would apologize to those who felt hurt.
Chief Justice Martha Koome described our case, presented by the country's finest legal minds, as no more than hot air, a wild goose chase, incredible and hearsay evidence, red herring. These were words of the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. Supreme Court is now in politics. And she said that the ruling was inspired by God. I believe it was inspired by the devil.
Yes, during an interview, the Chief Justice Martha Koome came out to apologize to the Azimio principals and to opposition for using one of the languages which they didn't take as a good gesture. We all know after the 2022 general election, the opposition went to court citing that the election was stolen. And the judgment came out to say that it was hot air. Didn't go on well with the opposition. And today, I think a few days back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Chief Justice was holding a press interview, I think with Spice FM, he came out to apologize, okay, for using those words. So he must ask ourselves, why is the Chief Justice coming out now to apologize? Because he didn't apologize then. I think it has a political undertone in this. Because if indeed the Chief Justice Martha Koome meant it, would have apologized then we must ask ourselves, why is she coming out to apologize now after almost 3 years in office? So in this episode, I've come to talk about why the Chief Justice Martha Koome is coming out to apologize, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. So, first of all, we all know that after the 2022 general election, there came a ruling where Martha Koome came out to tell the opposition that it was hot air they filed. In fact, I keep on telling people that the 2022 general election was won fairly and squarely by William Ruto because he had nothing. He had no state. He had no money compared to his competitors. It means that, to me, in my thinking, I think even the state stole William Ruto's election. He would have maybe had a very big margin. When the judgment came out, it showed that the people who went to court, the Azimio principals, never had anything, okay, to support their allegation of election fraud. And Martha Koome came out to say that they had hot air.
We turn to Form 34A for Gasharaigo Primary School, which was sensationally presented by Madam Judy Soweto, advocate, to show that one, Jose Kamango, accessed the RTS and interfered with the result contained therein. This also turned out to be no more than hot air, and we were taken on a wild goose chase that yielded nothing of probative value.
During an interview on Spice FM, Martha Koome came out and apologized to these people. And we must ask ourselves, why is he coming out to apologize at this time, yet he didn't apologize then? Because those are the questions which are supposed to be answered. Before I proceed, let me first give you the tape when Martha Koome was apologizing for using hot air. Here's the tape.
Your Ladyship, you must also address this one. This is at the point of delivering the decision of the Supreme Court on the presidential election petition in 2022. There are those that felt that the court came out with language that was not what is expected of the Supreme Court. Words like hot air, wild goose chase are still painful to many people.
Well, if somebody feels hurt because of the language that you have used, it's always an act of humility to apologize and say, we would apologize to those who felt hurt. But if you read each of the paragraph, it would explain why that was the conclusion. Because if there were allegations that were not supported at all by any evidence, then the conclusion is that which, if it is hurtful, we apologize. But, that is the conclusion we came to after evaluating what was brought to us in a very, very big way. But it turns out that it wasn't what was being arranged.
That is Martha Koome. First of all, I keep on telling people that apologizing is not for the weak. Because a person to apologize, you must first understand that you've made a mistake. But in politics, nothing is done without a reason. We are seeing the judiciary being subjugated by the executive. And remember, now the executive works well with the opposition. So why is Martha Koome coming out to apologize at this time when he didn't apologize? Okay? Yet, even then, Raila Odinga called him out to apologize for using hot air, but he never came out, not even issuing a document. So the reason as to why I think Martha Koome made a mistake, if you fail to apologize then, why apologize now? In fact, the Chief Justice will not come out to apologize verbally. She speaks for the institution. He would have apologized through writing as the judiciary. So it shows you that there is something which is being cooked. Okay? Before I proceed, I want to play a tape when Raila Odinga came out showing his dissatisfaction when Martha Koome had just put out that ruling. Here's the tape.
Secondly, you have noticed the attitude, the thuggery, the corruption, and the cynicism of the Supreme Court judges. The words that the Chief Justice used against us have never been used in our courts, even in the dark days of single-party rule and state capture of the judiciary. Chief Justice Martha Koome described our case, presented by the country's finest legal mind, as no more than hot air, a wild goose chase, incredible and hearsay evidence, red herring. These were words of the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. It is my experience that whenever judges resort to insults on litigants and advocates, it is the result of a disturbed conscience. You have been here before. You have come from a judiciary that invested in threats and humiliation of litigants and advocates so that the country would not question them. That is the Supreme Court we witnessed in the presidential election case. We also have come from a judiciary that invested in intimidation. Today, the Supreme Court is threatening those talking against the judgment in the presidential petition. According to Madam Martha Koome, that judgment is not supposed to be discussed by anyone, anywhere. The court registrar has already issued threats on those who have criticized the despicable judgment of the court. In fact, Justice Isaac Lenaola is publicly accused of threatening one of the petitioners, Senator Okia Mtata, with the ruination over his stand on the court judgment. And he told Mtata that he is not a Mormor, which is the king of the Teso. And the Chief Justice has gone out to a funeral in her village and defended the judgment even before she gives out the detailed ruling. Supreme Court is now in politics. And she said that the ruling was inspired by God. I believe it was inspired by the devil.
That is RAILA Amolo Odinga. So you clearly see that there are some things which are supposed to be interrogated. Why is Chief Justice coming out to apologize 2 years later? For me, I keep on saying that holding us our office as a Chief Justice, not even a Chief Justice, if you're holding our office, just know that every statement you put out, it represents the office. It's the reason as why in many of the countries, judges, magistrates, it's not for a good norm to hold press briefings or radio interviews, because you may end up making certain mistakes. It's the reason as to why we never see judges on panels, because you may come out to defend or also bash something which may be contrary to the PR. Okay, so the Chief Justice coming out to apologize, it shows that one is accepting that he made a mistake of using hot air, but he would have done that long time ago, not now after almost 3 years, most especially at this time when the judiciary is being subjugated by William Ruto. Okay, so even the timing is so alarming. Why is it now? Okay, so the Chief Justice is apologizing, although it is a good gesture, but I for one, I wouldn't think that it is the right time to apologize. You would have let it go. You would have just explained as to why he used hot air, not coming out to apologize to the people who asked for the apology. For people who understand less, they may think that your ruling was also wrong, which is unfortunate. Of course, that's my opinion. Do me a comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.